How long before we pull into Summerfield?
In about 5 minutes, sir. You want me to brush you off?
No, I'll walk down the steps like the rest of the passengers. By the way, Porter, you've given me such good service. Here's an order for a Gildersleeve girdle for your wife.
Oh, thank you, sir. I happen to be a spinster at the moment.
Yes.
But if it's all right with you, I'll put it in my hope chair.
Yeah, that's perfectly all right, Porter.
Well, hello there, Gildersleeve.
Why, Harlow Wilcox. What are you doing on this train?
Oh, starting on my vacation.
You are, huh? Aren't you working this summer?
No, I'm off till the fall.
Well.
The Johnson Wax people said car news sales are going so well, there's no reason for me to hang around.
What do you mean?
Well, for the past 39 weeks, I've told everybody all about Johnson's car news. I've described how easy it is to use and how effective it is in giving your buggy that new car finish. And as a result, folks don't need to be reminded all the time.
They don't, huh?
No, they'll remember to go to their dealers the minute they run out of car new, because they know that it not only cleans the finish of your car, but also protects it and makes it look like new. Isn't that so?
Well, who am I to say no?
So you see, I don't have a thing to worry about this summer. I'm just going to take it easy. Just as easy as it is to apply car new. By the way, where are you going, Throckmorton?
Well, I'm going to visit my niece and nephew in Summerfield, Harlow. I haven't seen them for 4 or 5 years. They've been away at school.
Well, they must be pretty big now.
Oh, yes. Evelyn's about 19 or 20, and Leroy is 12, I think. I ought to have a lot of fun with those kids.
Yes, and vice versa, Throckmorton.
Yes.
Next stop, Summerfield. Summerfield. Hey, lady, wake up. Wake up. This is Summerfield.
Why can't I call him TP like they do down at the foundry? It isn't a foundry, Leroy. It's a... Oh, never mind. It's nothing that concerns little boys. I'm sure that Uncle Throckmorton will prefer to have you call him Uncle Throckmorton. Well, how about me making it Uncle Throcky? Grant, how about that? I don't think that will be very respectful, Leroy. Then Uncle Gildy? That's even worse. What's the matter with Throckmorton? Oh, shucks. You can't go around calling a big, tough guy who runs a steel foundry Throckmorton. Why, it's positively derogatory. It's derogatory. Is that true? Leroy, who told you Uncle Throckmorton was in the steel business? Yeah, you thought you were so smart, always trying to hide Uncle's business from me. What's wrong with having a steel mill? A steel mill? Sure, I know all about it. I once got hold of one of his letterheads. The Gildersleeve Girder Company. Yeah, so there. Yes. Gildersleeve Girder Company. See, he should be here by now, shouldn't he, Ev? Oh, now, don't you worry, Leroy. Just as soon as his train arrives, Mr. Wills will bring him here for breakfast. Yeah, I wanted to go down to the station, too. I know, but Ted has to discuss all the legal details with Uncle Throckmorton before we go to court. Say, you're getting pretty darn stuck on that Ted guy, aren't you? Why, Leroy Forrester, I am not. Ted Wills is merely our lawyer. He is not. Williamson, Williams, Willies, and Wills are our lawyers, and Ted's nothing but the tail end. Well, he's young yet. We just give him time. Ah, there you go. Oh, say, how's if I should call him Uncle Morton? Call who? Oh, Uncle Throckmorton. Well, I don't think he'd object to that. Wait, I can do better than that. How's this? Uncle Mort. Who's that? Uncle Mort. I'll answer it.
Well, I'll bet this is little Leroy.
Leroy, this is your uncle.
Hi, Uncle Mort.
Yeah, hi, who?
You, Uncle Mort. You don't mind if I call you Uncle Mort, do you, Uncle Mort?
Not at all. Go right ahead. Uncle Mort, eh? I like that.
And this is Evelyn, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Evelyn, eh? Come here, my dear. My, how you've grown.
Hello, Uncle Throckmorton.
Yeah.
Here, let me take your hat and coat. Will you have some breakfast?
No, thanks. I've already had mine on the... Well, I'll have a cup of coffee.
Sit right here, Uncle. Ted, you sit over there.
Oh, thanks. My, this looks good. Well, did you make this coffee yourself, Evelyn?
Yes, I did. Hey, Uncle, will you take me back to Wistful Vista with you and let me work in your factory?
What? I didn't think you'd be interested in that sort of thing.
But, Leroy... Gee, I am, Uncle Mort. That must be somewhere else. I bet you make the supports for a lot of big projects there.
Well, we don't turn out anything much in the way of supporters. We sort of confine ourselves to foundations.
Yeah, I'd like to go along sometime when you install some of those foundations.
I don't handle this. What do you think I am?
Please excuse Leroy, Uncle Mort. You see, he's been like that ever since he found out you owned the Gildersleeve Girder Company.
What? The Gildersleeve? Oh, yeah. Yes, I see it all. He's a bright boy. Yeah.
Gee, you don't know how swell it is for me to meet a real He-Man in a real He-Man business.
Yeah, it is?
Sure. All I hear around this house is dresses and hats and hairdos and women's stuff.
Oh.
But it's going to be different with you around.
Is it?
Well, isn't it?
Oh, yes, of course.
Say, do you ever have to slug it out with any of them tough steel workers of yours?
No, I never do.
You don't, huh?
Oh, well, of course. There have been times when I've had to put more snap into their work. Yeah, and once I was so angry, Leroy, that I picked up a badly made foundation and bounced it right off the foreman's head.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, boy, wait till I tell the kids at school about that. Now, Leroy, you let your uncle eat his breakfast. Have some toast, Uncle Mort?
No, thanks. Speaking of toast reminds me of gluten toast. Yeah. And boy, does that remind me. That reminds me of an amusing incident on the train last night. You'll enjoy this, Leroy. When I went into the diner, the only unoccupied chair was at a table with a sour little crab who had his newspaper spread out. Heard that little rat yell when the ice water hit him in the face.
Well, if you've finished now, Mr. Gildersleeve, it's time to leave for court.
Yes, I'm through, Ted. It was a fine breakfast, Evelyn. You're going to make some lucky man a wonderful cook. Hey, Ted.
Oh, Uncle Mort.
Come on, kids. Let's trot over to the courthouse. This won't take long. Once the judge sees who he's dealing with, I'll be appointed administrator faster than you can say habeas corpus. Well, all I can say is we run things better than this in Wistful Vista. 11 o'clock and the probate judge hasn't even shown up yet.
Oh, Judge Hooker's usually very prompt.
The trouble with some of these judges is they think they're little tin gods. Take those black robes away from them, what have you got? Bow legs.
That's a hot one, Uncle Mort.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it.
Everyone rise, please.
Well, I'm glad he's here. Now we'll get this thing over with quick.
Here, court, Department 25, the Honorable Henry H. Hooker, Judge presiding, sound session. Be seated.
Sit down, Uncle Mort.
Huh? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. Who's that man sitting in the judge's chair?
Well, that's Judge Hooker.
Judge Hooker? That's the man in the lower berth.
Alias?
That's him, all right.
Petition of Throckmorton T. Gildersleeve for appointment as administrator of the state of A. Forester.
Well, that's us. Come on, Mr. Gildersleeve.
I'm not feeling very well, Ted. Couldn't we postpone this over to another judge?
Oh, come on, Uncle Mort. Remember what you said. This guy'll be a pushover.
Pushover, yeah.
Now, come on. Step up. Don't dawdle. I haven't got all day.
Make a snappy, folks. The judge is pretty short-tempered this morning. He didn't get any sleep last night.
Oh, good Godfrey.
Your Honor, with your permission, I'll put Mr. Gildersleeve on the stand and examine his qualifications for this position.
Go ahead, Mr. Wills. Swear in the witness there.
You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, help you?
I do.
Well, do you or don't you? Speak up.
I do.
That voice is very familiar.
Oh.
Turn around, Mr. Oh, so it's you.
Yes. Yes. Hello, Judge. How are you this morning?
I'm allowed... Witness will confine himself to the matter at hand. Mr. Wills?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'll examine this man's qualifications, if you don't mind.
Why don't, Your Honor?
But I do.
Silence.
Yes, sir.
You're here to answer questions. Now then, Gildersleeve, if your name really is Gildersleeve, What do you do for a living?
I make girdles, Your Honor.
Order in the court. Order in the court. And you, Gildersleeve. Gildersleeve. One more attempt at cheap humor, and I'll judge you in contempt.
But it's true, Your Honor. I'm president of the Gildersleeve Girdle Company.
Oh, Uncle Mort, tell him the truth.
Yeah.
He doesn't make girdles, Judge.
What does he do?
Steel foundation.
I bet he would, too. Now, no more interruptions, my boy. Remember, this is a courtroom. You realize who I am, of course.
Sure, you're a bow-legged little tin guy.
What?
Now, Leroy.
But you just said so yourself, Uncle Mort.
Oh, you did.
Just a little joke, Your Honor. You know how I kid. No offense, I hope.
It is an offense. Contempt of court. Just one more disrespectful remark, Mr. Gilder, whatever your name is, and I'll...
Oh, don't do that, Judge. Uncle Mort will keep his opinions about you to himself. Won't you, Uncle Mort?
Yes, I know better now. I'll be careful, Your Honor.
See as you do. I hope that by now you realize the gravity of the situation, Mr.
Gildersleeve, I certainly do, Your Honor.
I'm going to ask you a simple, straightforward question. I want a simple, straightforward answer.
Go right ahead, Judge.
All right, Mr. Gildersleeve. What business are you in?
Well, do I have to answer that?
You do, and remember, you're under oath.
Well, that is, Leroy, would you mind going out in the hall and get me some ice water?
1 minute. Who's running this court, you or I?
You better not get Uncle Mort mad, Judge. Last night he threw a whole bucket of water on a guy out of a berth under him. And just because this guy was snoring.
Oh, my God, here we go again.
He did he?
Yeah, and this poor sap woke up and thought it was raining.
Quiet.
You ought to hear Uncle Mort tell it.
Quiet.
Thanks, I will. Let's hear all about it, Uncle Mort.
But, Judge Hooker, it's after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
This poor man's been on the witness stand all day.
All right.
And
One more question, and I'll hand down my decision. Mr. Gildersleeve, what makes you think you have executive ability?
Well, I have a large staff of my own, and through years of experience, I know the proper relationship between employer and employee.
You bet, Your Honor. And if they don't do what Uncle Mort says, he just bops them over the skull with a steel girder.
Now, wait a minute, Leroy.
But, Uncle Mort, I'm just repeating everything you say.
Yes, and everything I've said is being used against me. I can't go on.
Your Honor,
Yes, Mr. Wills?
our firm has checked and double-checked Mr. Gildersleeve's references. We're satisfied as to his qualifications. We therefore petition you to name him as the new administrator of the Forrester estate.
Uh-huh. Mr. Wills, I have great respect for you and your associates. That is probably the only reason why I'm going to grant your petition.
Hooray!
However, in order to protect these children from their own misguided enthusiasm, I am going to require this Gildersleeve to report to me every single week.
But, Your Honor...
He must get an okay for every cent he spends.
But, Judge...
And I will require him to post a bond of $50,000 in cash.
Now, see here, Hooker. I won't stand for this. I'll resign.
Quiet. Gildersleeve, I never sent for you. You came here begging for this job. Now, just because I insist on it being administered with scrupulous honesty, you tried to back out of it. But it won't work. To quote from Broby versus Union Buggy Corporation, Civil Code of Nebraska, you've made your bed and you can't lie out of it.
But my business in Wistful Vista demands...
You mean your girdle business? Huh. You will remain here and make this estate pay or go to jail for contempt.
But I...
Court's adjourned.
I'll kill that old goat. Ed, we've got to do something about this. Do you realize that a $50,000 bond would not only take every cent of my ready cash, but also means the mortgage on my Gordon works?
Gee, I'm sorry about how the whole... I'm sorry about how the whole thing went, Mr. Gildersleeve.
He's got me awfully nervous.
Maybe if we went into the judge's chambers, we could persuade him to lower the bond, Uncle Mort. Sure, just let me talk to him.
Young man, you've talked enough for one day.
How about it, Ted?
Well, it won't hurt to try. Come on.
Yes.
Come in.
Excuse me, Judge Hooker. You remember me, don't you? I thought perhaps maybe we could possibly get that little cash bond reduced.
I don't see why I should waste any...
Well,